Hey guys, my name is Amelia and I'm going to be talking to you guys about psychogenic non-epileptic seizures. I've had psychogenic non-epileptic seizures for since 2011, November 1st. My dad actually figured out what it was after months of trying to figure out what it was. He Googled on the internet, was all like, hey, I think I figured out what it was. Why you're having these seizures? And they're caused by stress. And at the time, it was my senior year of high school, and just getting into a transition of going into college. And apparently I couldn't really handle that well. Now what day is it? It's Tuesday, February 22nd, 2018, and I'm still having them. I would say not as frequently, but they actually started back up really bad. But I'll get through it. So will you guys. I know there's a lot of people that have a lot of questions. Like, my EKG is normal. Is that normal? Yes, it is. The things that I like to do to try to just be stress relief, I do photography, I work out, I edit photos, I love to work. It's my favorite thing to do. I know that sounds crazy. Most people are like, oh, I don't want to go to work. I love going to work. I have some notes I'm looking back on. I have had trouble with EMTs, the people that take you to the hospital, saying, oh, well, good job, you faked it. That was a good one. You fooled all of us. And I'll be like, okay, I can't talk. So I'll be sitting there texting them, and they'll be like, oh, you can text, but you can't talk. And I'll be like, oh, okay. Yeah, I can't talk, but yeah, it was just very complicated and very hard. When someone doesn't believe you, they just think you're faking it to get out of school or work. No, this is a real thing. Yeah, it was really hard. There are a lot more EMTs know about it now. Every time I see one, I'm like, hey, do you know what PNES means? And I explained it to them, and sometimes they'll know and sometimes they won't. Every time I see one, I'm like, hey, do you know what this is? So, yeah. Symptoms of having a seizure. Memory loss, shaking, being scared, crying, very weak afterwards, very weak during it, having headaches, not hungry, not wanting to do anything, being depressed, having seizures when you're sleeping, trembling, eyes fluttering, eyes rolling in the back of your head, shaking really, really bad. I know my mom put me on my side when I first started having them, and it hurt. It hurt when people touched me, like on my shoulder or rubbed me, and I'm like, no, don't. It hurts really, really bad. And I would just tell them, don't touch me. Every time I go to the hospital, I actually had this doctor laugh at me. I told him, don't shine this light in my eyes. And granted, he did anyways, and I ended up having a seizure. And it was pretty bad. And he walked away, and he laughed. He was like, oh, sorry. And I was like, oh, wonderful. I get a lot of questions saying, what does treatment look like? I normally go to therapy all the time. Every time I'm really, really high strung and just completely stressed out, I go to therapy. I try to go to therapy at least 2 times a week. I had a person on the Pines website actually say that therapy didn't help for them. And I'm sorry that doesn't help you. Talking helps. I know you can talk to a friend, you can talk to me, you can talk to your best friend or your coworker, your mom, your dad, your grandma, your uncle, anyone. It might help. It might be the certain person that will actually help. Getting to know your triggers. You should know what triggers you into having a seizure. So maybe it could be taking a test, or at work a certain coworker stresses you out. Maybe your boss. Certain lights. I know I can't do like flashing lights or blue lights. If it's too dark in a room or too bright in a room, I always have a hard time dealing with it, and sometimes I'll walk out and sometimes I'll just deal with it. An example would be B-Dubs, Buffalo Wild Wings. Their light bothers me, so I normally can't go in there and eat. I always have to take it out. Some other questions I have is, have you tried CBD oil? Personally, I have not. I Googled it. I understand what it is. No, I have not. Are tremors normal, like convulsing? Yes, they are normal. Can PNES be triggered by exercise? Yes, I would limit your exercise to like maybe certain amount a day, maybe like 30 minutes. I know technically you're supposed to go for like 45 to an hour, but sometimes you can't do that. Sometimes I can only do it for 10 minutes, but hey, I did my 10 minutes and I feel a lot better. Sometimes I don't, and I just take a nap afterwards. Let's see. I had a person say that her doctor recommended she shouldn't go out of town when she has psychogenic non-epileptic seizures. To be honest, I'm not quite sure why she would recommend that. I was limited at a certain time driving. I think it was when I was like 20. I'm 25 now. And the doctor was like, oh, no, you can't drive. But technically, well, in my perspective, you can. I have a handicap sign, and it helps me. I would recommend everyone to get a handicap sign when it comes to psychogenic non-epileptic seizures, because you do have days where you are just absolutely exhausted. But anyways, back to the point where they were saying she couldn't drive out of town. That was mainly, they said that I couldn't drive out of town. They never said that to me, but they did say I shouldn't drive for a certain amount of months, which made sense, but it was mainly for people that had epilepsy, and the doctor did recommend epilepsy medicine, even though I don't have epilepsy, and it actually made me worn out more, and I would sleep all day. I wouldn't eat. Yeah, so I don't take epilepsy medicine. I take antidepressants, Xanax, that helps. You guys can take Klonopin, ask your doctor, make sure it's okay first, get a prescription, don't be ignorant. What other questions do I have? For girls, I had a person ask, can you have seizures? Are they more common when you're on your cycle? Yes, it is. It is more common, especially when you're in pain or when you have an earache. I had another person saying, is it more common if you have ear infection or allergies may cause your seizures? Yes, because you're stressed at that point. You're just like, I just want to be done being sick or having these allergies. Take Zyrtec. I had another person say blackouts. Is that normal? Yes, it is. I have blackouts all the time. Sometimes I forget who my boyfriend is, who my parents are, and they're by my side and they're my support system. And I would definitely recommend everyone getting a support system. Can you grow out of psychogenic non-epileptic seizures? You can. I had a friend that did grow out of them. She was having some trouble with their family, and she grew out of her seizures, And I'm so happy for her. So there is hope for us. Just take it one day at a time. That's what I do. When I don't feel good, I do what I can that day. I make a goal, even if it's going to the bathroom or taking a shower or going to work or driving. Just small little goals. Any type of goal would work. Brushing your teeth, putting on your glasses, any type of goals, putting your hair up. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you guys have any more questions, please let me know and I will be glad to answer them.